We have details from last night's town council meeting on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Friday, June 20th, 2014. I'm Sarah Mannel. Discussion on the operating budget for fiscal 2015 is over. Last night, Town Council approved budgets for the airport and town libraries. The council also voted to support an appropriation of $123,000 for the FY15 tourism grant. Before the vote, President of the Hyannis Area Chamber of Commerce, Jessica Silver, urged the council to support the grant.
I'm joined this evening by my board members, Eliza Cox, Amy Guthinger, Chris Kehoe. And hopefully you've seen directors Peter Martino, Chris Kehoe, George Searles, and Eliza Cox have also submitted comments in support of this appropriation. The Hyannis Area Chamber of Commerce represents 750 businesses in the town of Barnstable and is largest, by far, local chamber on the Cape. The chamber first received funds from the town for the tourism grant in the early 1990s. As the only organization focused solely on promoting the town of Barnstable, this grant enables us to market Barnstable's 7 villages as the best destination for vacations, conferences, art performances, and sporting events. This year we attended trade shows in Connecticut, Nashville, and Chicago. And we use all the media to highlight what is so special about our town. Our new video, which is on hyannis.com, so please check that out. Mobile website, various ads on destination websites. In addition, we have a partnership with the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce, whereby we provide them a portion of the grant to exclusively promote sports marketing, bringing large events to the Hyannis Youth and Community Center. This partnership and the tourism funds have helped raise the profile of the Hyannis Youth and Community Center nationally as a destination. These events invest money into our business community. We promote all the events in Barnstable using tourism grant funds. One of our signature events, which just happened last weekend, is the annual Father's Day Car Show, which brought over 80,000 people to Main Street. In terms of attendance, this is a large non-sporting event on Cape Cod, and it's held right here in Hyannis. Not only do these visitors enjoy the cars that are on display, but they also patronize our hotels, restaurants, and shops. We have a very talented marketing and tourism committee who rely on the support of the town to accomplish their goals of increasing visitors to the town, resulting in a benefit to all of us. The tourism grant is vital to us being a competitive in the Cape Cod tourism marketing place. Not only does it bring people to our town, reserve our motels and hotels, eat in our restaurants, and spend their dollars with our merchants, but it's a multiplier effect of this investment is more significant as a result of tourists coming to the town by our businesses hiring more staff, spending more money, and using that money with the taxes by creating additional revenue. It's an investment that results in benefits for all of us. On behalf of the Board of Directors and our 700-plus chamber members, we support this appropriation and look forward to working with the town to continue to promote the town of Barnstable.
The tourism grant passed with 12 councilors voting yes and 1 abstention. The council also considered using $60,000 of community preservation funds to pay for a new playground at the Barnstable Community Horace Mann Charter Public School. Community Preservation Chair Lindsay Council talked about the project before the vote.
The Horace Mann School is a kindergarten and grade 3 school with approximately 300 students located next to the Hyannis Youth and Community Center in Hyannis. The proposed playground will be developmentally appropriate and handicapped accessible, designed with a natural/nautical theme. It will be approximately 81 feet wide by 100 feet long and will replace 2 playgrounds built more than 2 decades ago out of wooden materials that are now unsafe, including chemically treated wood. This playground also has been condemned. The new playground will meet current safety guidelines and provide a variety of play structures that are essential to young children's growth and development. This was one of those places out in Hyannis where I used to, whenever I go down versus way there, you look to the left and the kids are always on that playground. Day, evening, all the time. It was a great spot. Unfortunately, these old wooden playgrounds that we have around town are reaching, their age limit. Many of them were, in fact, built with either creosote treated or the other chemically treated woods that are out there. So it's really going to be time one by one. I'm sure you're going to be seeing more of these requests to replace them. This project, total cost is $131,000. The request here, as I mentioned, is for $60,000. And the playground committee that's working on this has raised an additional $71,000 for this effort. It's been a really group effort over there, working together with the parent-teacher organization, the school committee, and the school committee staff. They've come up with a plan that will put this in place hopefully by September for the start of school. So it is ambitious, but I think this group will get it done. There have been a number of private groups that have donated to this, including Independence Park Foundation. They have used their own savings account at the school for this. There is a potential matching fund from an anonymous donor that will also support this. So there's fairly broad-based support for this effort, and I would hope you feel the same way and approve this project.
The council ultimately voted unanimously in favor of spending community preservation funds to pay for the new playground. A plan to acquire a 0.18-acre parcel of land on Main Street in Hyannis also went before Town Council during last night's meeting. Lindsay Council, chair of the Community Preservation Committee, addressed the council and urged them to support spending about $15,000 to acquire the land.
The property was the former site of the Stones Antiques for many years and has frontage on both Main Street and South Street across from the South Street Cemetery. The acquisition cost is less than 10% of the $172,900 assessed land value. The Stone family wishes to restrict the property to open space or park use, and the town plans to build a small pocket park at the site. Pocket parks are islands of vegetation in urban areas that help offset the impacts from the man-made environment and provide a visual break, adding color and texture to the landscape. And I have a very brief PowerPoint for you. This is how the building looks today. The roofs have been removed, as have all the hazardous materials that were on the site, and the only items on there are the building unhazardous materials that remain to be removed. Here's the rear view that you all see on your way into Town Hall. You can see from the roof lines and things, the building's leaning to the right in this photograph. It's basically structurally totally unsound, and there is a permit to take the building down. Here is the view from the parking lot that services the roadhouse. I would hope that perhaps a couple of these trees could remain as the edge. They appear to be, if you sight down the property line, on the Stone property there, so that could be preserved. Here's an aerial view. You can see this is Main Street here and South Street. It's basically an L-shaped building and a parallelogram shape there. And these are the trees that you just saw. So perhaps you could start with a little treed area and then develop it from there. But why pocket parks? A lot of people have asked me in discussion of this. Well, they do support the overall ecology of the surrounding environment, particularly in an urban area like Hyannis. They preserve local wildlife. They do create a vista, as I mentioned earlier. They can reduce pollution and obviously traffic if they're not developed. But they also empower local residents to get involved in a property like this. They may have local events there. It just brings us a little bit of different type of use to a land area in an urban setting. They make an area more safe. This area has had several calls to the police department for homeless breaking in, so it will do that. It'll be a regeneration of this particular site. And it also brings the community, again, more involved, getting people involved through the bid or whatever to use this property through the town.
After some discussion, Councillor Jim Crocker filed an amendment that would use general funds to pay for the property rather than community preservation funds. Crocker hoped that would ensure the space could be used for multiple purposes with fewer restrictions on the land. After amending the appropriation, the Town Council voted unanimously to pass the measure. Veterans Beach Playground will soon be getting an upgrade. The council also voted last night to accept a $200,000 state grant that will help pay for improvements to Veterans Beach Park. We'll be sure to tune in to our hour-long news program, Barnstable This Morning, weekdays at 7 a.m. On Monday's show, we will chat with Town Manager Tom Lynch and Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Mary Schakowsky. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannel.